can we make a better mushroom sauce? I believe we can, my friends. This one is more mushroomy, more creamy, more delish. This is my steak and creamy miso mushroom sauce. Creamy mushroom sauce, one of my favorites, all-time great classic, but I'm gonna make it even better, I think, with just a few little additions and a couple of little techniques to really boost the flavor. Let's get started on that flavor first of all. And the first thing we're gonna do is make a little beefy miso stock. So already a little different to your regular mushroom sauce. Beef stock, I just wanna heat that up gently. Now once I can see some steam happening there, I'm gonna add in my miso paste. So I'm using a white miso paste, also known as sweet miso paste, also known as shiro miso paste. It's kind of like the regular one that you can find most easily. And that's gonna go in here. And this is basically to kind of get it dissolved and infusing that beef stock with that miso flavor. It's gonna add more umami, more savoriness to the sauce. It's a really good addition. Okay, so you don't need to like hard boil this or anything. I'm just waiting for that miso paste to dissolve, and that's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna take that off the heat. And now the mushrooms. So I'm just gonna go with some brown button mushrooms here and also some portobellos, so slightly larger ones. And one of the key differences I think between like a really awesome mushroom sauce and one that's kind of like, is the size of the mushrooms first of all. If you slice them too thin before you get going in the pan, they kind of disintegrate and just kind of left with these little slimy bits of mushroom. I mean, that doesn't sound very attractive at all. So what you want are some nice chunky bits of mushroom. So go a little thicker than you think you might need. You know, that's like a good 3 centimeters thick there. And now for the button mushrooms, again, the same idea. I'm just gonna cut them in half. Now here's a really key part of this recipe. Don't turn away right now. Don't check your Instagram feed. This is it, guys. You want to get a really good sear on your mushroom. You want a really wide pan, much bigger than you think. A little bit of oil. So no, I'm not starting with butter. That'll come later. I want some oil first. Really hot. Mushrooms go in. And now just spread them out, get, that cut side down preferably. And now a little sprinkling of salt. The salt is gonna help to draw out the moisture in those mushrooms. By drawing out the moisture, we're gonna get a better color and sear on those mushrooms. And then don't touch. Don't be tempted to move them around or anything. I just want them to get some color. In fact, it's just as important that you concentrate on this initial sear of the mushrooms as it is on searing your steak. It's gonna make all the difference. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes, so let's have a look at the color. There's plenty of drama here. We've got some steam, we've got some smoke, perfect. And yes, look at that. See how beautifully golden and caramelized that mushroom is? That is pure flavor. And then check out how dry the pan is. That's the other key thing. So we haven't got mushrooms that are stewing in their juices, we've got them really searing. All right, those are some really good looking mushrooms, my friends. Let's get going on the rest of the stuff that we need. I'm gonna finely slice a shallot. Okay, and so now we're gonna add the butter. I didn't add the butter at the beginning because the milk solids in the butter would have burnt and gotten really dark brown and kind of a bit bitter. Not what we want. I just want that butter flavor. So I'm gonna put that in now. And some garlic. Again, if I put the garlic in at the beginning, that would have burnt because I needed that high heat. And those shallots. Oh, that is smelling so good already. I love that garlic mushroom smell. Okay, let's make things a little special here. Let's put in some thyme. I just throw the whole lot in. I quite like having the sprigs in the sauce. I think it looks nice and rustic. Before that butter colors too much, I want to deglaze the pan with some alcohol, and I'm going to use some sake because, doing a bit of a Japanese theme. Some white wine would be good too. Now the key here is let that alcohol evaporate until the pan is almost dry. Okay, that liquid's all but gone. Now I'm going to add in that beefy miso stock. And some cream. Okay, so now what we want to do is let all of those wonderful ingredients in there make really good friends, and we want to wait for that sauce to thicken up a little. Now take a look at that. That is looking creamy and thick and amazing. Just a few little final finishing touches here. I want a little dash of some white pepper. I like the white pepper because it doesn't like take over in terms of flavor. This is all about the mushrooms. So just a little dash there. And then here's another little secret ingredient that you won't really notice the flavor of particularly, but it will kind of lift the whole dish and brighten everything up. And that is lemon zest. So just a couple of little passes with the grater. You don't need the whole thing, that would be too much. And now a little smattering of chives. And that is just looking perfection, my friends. At this point, I'm going to take it off, and it can afford to sit there for a few minutes while I cook my steak. Okay, so fairly standard with the steak here. I want a nice seasoning of salt, just a little touch of oil. I like to start with some oil and then finish off with some butter. That way I get a really nice kind of clean, buttery flavor at the end. Okay, I'm going to add in my butter. And just to echo some of the flavor in the sauce, I'm going to add some thyme sprigs in here as well. And now at this point for me with a steak, it's all about basting and turning and basting and turning. And I think that gives you the best kind of texture through the steak and the best sear. So at this point, I'll get my mushroom sauce back onto the heat and warming through. Now, if your sauce has thickened up too much and it starts to look a little grainy, just add in a splash more beef stock or a little bit of water and it will come back to life beautifully. But just look at that gloss and that shine and that, this is gonna be totally lush. Okay, let's put this all together. Steak out, and now the sauce. Just a little sprinkling more of some of those chives. And there you go, my friends. This one has got me so excited. Let me just test it out for you, make sure I've done a good job. This is going to be good. That is, without word of a lie, so ridiculous. I mean, you know, the mushroom is beautifully firm and everything tastes really mushroomy. You know when you get those like steak mushroom sauces and like the mushroom is really slimy and really thin and there's no substance to it? This is all mushroom and then all steak and then creamy and salty and savory and just like epic. I'm done. I can retire now. It just doesn't get any better than that. Yum.